Throughout our history, humans have looked to the night sky with awe and wonder and attempted to count the seemingly uncountable stars. One human is responsible for cataloging more stars than any other individual, and her name is Annie Jump Cannon. Throughout Annie Cannon's groundbreaking career in astronomy, she was responsible for identifying more than 300,000 celestial objects, and the system of stellar classification she devised is still in use today, more than 100 years later. Annie Jump Cannon was born in 1863 in Dover, Delaware, the daughter of State Senator Wilson Cannon and his second wife, Mary Jump. It was her mother that first inspired Annie's love of astronomy, teaching her the names of stars and constellations. In 1880, Cannon enrolled in Wellesley College, where she studied under the eminent physicist and astronomer Sarah Frances Whiting, who encouraged her interest in spectroscopy. After earning her degree in physics in 1884, Cannon returned home to Delaware, but she grew restless and sought out new experiences. In 1892, Annie toured Europe and documented her adventures using the relatively new innovation of photography. A travelogue of her journals and photos entitled In the Footsteps of Columbus was published and distributed at the 1893 World's Fair Columbian Exposition. Soon after returning from Europe, however, Annie suffered a bout of scarlet fever, which left her almost completely deaf. Undaunted by this challenge, Annie Cannon was about to embark on her career as an astronomer in earnest. In 1894, after enrolling in Radcliffe College as a graduate student, she was offered a position at the Harvard Observatory as one of Pickering's harem. The astronomer Edward Pickering had begun employing a team of women as computers who would analyze astronomical data collected by the observatory and catalog their findings. It was in this way that Annie Cannon would make her greatest contributions to the science of astronomy.
I spent hours in the observatory room looking at plates of glass that had photographs of the stars, and basically what I was doing was looking at the spectrum of each star and classifying it. And most of the classification was actually in my head. I didn't really have it written down. So it wasn't until Cecilia Payne did her thesis on my work that she actually was able to classify and set into words what my classification scheme was. And what she discovered was that my classification scheme was based off the temperature of the star. And letters had already been assigned to the spectral lines, but the way I had classified them and organized them into these sequences, the letters got rearranged because of the different temperatures of the stars. That is memorized by the mnemonic device, O be a fine girl or guy, kiss me. And each of those stand for a spectral class, O being blue, all the way down to K being the red.
In addition to being one of the primary authors of the Henry Draper Catalog, in its time the largest and most expansive astronomical catalog in history, Annie Cannon would receive countless other awards and honors. She became the first woman to be elected an officer of the American Astronomical Society. In 1925, Oxford University awarded her an honorary doctorate, another first for womankind. In 1931, she received the Henry Draper Medal for achievement in the field of astronomy. She remains the only woman ever to receive this distinction. And in 1934, the Annie J. Cannon Award in Astronomy was endowed to recognize the contributions of female astronomers. During a time when women were denied the vote and the deaf were routinely excluded from society, Annie Jump Cannon defied expectations to reach the pinnacle of her field. Her contributions and perspective remain singular and unparalleled. In her own words, teaching man his relatively small sphere in the creation, it also encourages him by its lessons at the unity of nature, and shows him that his power of comprehension allies him with the great intelligence overreaching all.